Hi Darkroom friends, Eugenia here with Darkroom Software. In this somewhat quick, maybe a little bit complicated tutorial, I'm going to show you something that's really more for advanced users and really for people using Darkroom Pro and Darkroom Core networked together. I'm going to give you a scenario so you can see what we're talking about. Let's say you work at a theme park and you have a server computer that's controlling everything, and then you have capture stations where somebody's taking pictures and another area where somebody's selling pictures. You want them to be able to take a picture wherever and then purchase one of those pictures at any of the sales stations and print at the client. So people using the server setup know that the printer has to be connected to the server. But what we can do is there's a workaround for this. You can use a shared Windows printer connected to the client, and it's shared to the server, and you add it as a Windows printer. For some people, that will just click in their head and they'll totally get it. But for others, we're going to go ahead and jump in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I have Darkroom Pro here. I'm going to jump on another computer that actually has my DX100 connected to. I'm using TeamViewer. So let's go to printers, and then there's my DX100. We'll go ahead and manage, and then go to printer properties, and right here we have sharing. We're going to share this printer, and what that does is it makes the printer available across your network. If you've worked in an office, this is pretty typical for your document printer. You have one printer, multiple people share it, or in my house I have a document printer, and anybody can print to it from wherever they are. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and now I can go ahead and minimize that computer, and we're going to go to our network and find that computer across our network, and we'll see that there is a shared Windows printer right here. If I double click, and once again I'm on the server now, earlier we were on the client that has the printer attached to it. I'm going to double click on it, and it will configure the printer as a Windows printer in Windows. And if we go to our printers here, you'll see it'll look a little bit different than your normal printer. It'll say the DX100 on the computer, and this will work with any printer that has a Windows printer driver. So you could even use this as a receipt printer. So now that it's added there, we're going to go into Darkroom. We're going to click Add Printer, and we're not going to select the DX100 from here. We're going to select Windows Printer, and then we can see it available as a Windows printer. So, and the reason for this is some of you may know that you cannot connect a printer to a client workstation. You don't have the printer options on the client. All printers have to be managed by the server, and that's so it can delegate and hand out jobs, and they're not just processed separately. So the next thing that comes up is if you have multiple stations, let's say you have client 1, client 2, and both of them have DX100s. Oh, one more small thing before we get into that. Because it is not the built-in driver, you'll want to make sure that you won't be able to use all the features that come with that. You have to limit to one specific size. So we'll go ahead and set this at 8 by 10. But so back to, you have multiple print stations. How do you make sure that when they print from client 1, it goes to the client 1 printer and not to client 2's printer? So under Advanced, you're going to create a media rule, set it to accept exact matches only, and we'll call it client 1. Essentially what that does is it puts a lock on that printer, and it will only allow prints that have that key to access that printer. So we'll go to our standard prints, and here we have our 8x10. What we're going to do is under media, we'll select client 1, and we'd create a package group specifically for that printer, all with that media type, and all of those packages have that key to open that printer gate. And then for client 2, we do the exact same thing with the media rule, client 2, and on the package group, or the packages in the package group. So this is a little bit more complicated, but I get this question every once in a while, and it's not really a supported feature, but it is something you can do, and a lot of people kind of need this feature sometimes. So I wanted to share it with you. And I know that there are a couple core standalone users that watch this video, or booth users even, and they're curious on whether they can use that feature. And the answer is yes, you can add a shared Windows printer to Darkroom Booth and Darkroom Core as a standalone. If you needed to have a printer in a different location, let's say because of noise, you could do that, but mainly this is our networking people that ask this question. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you're staying safe, staying healthy, and I'll see you next time. Hi, it's me again. If this video has been helpful, be sure to check out one of our other videos just like this one. And if we've earned it, please consider subscribing. This lets us know people are out there watching our videos, and it's making their job and their life just a little bit easier. Please consider subscribing right over here.